Okay, so welcome to another video. Well, this time what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about saving. And not only just saving your document as a file, but also saving it to a number of different areas, whether it's going to be on your computer, which we call like the local drive, like drive C, whether it's going to be on your network drive. And usually those are drive letters that go beyond maybe the letter F, all right? And then we also have the cloud, and that's, if you have a Microsoft account, you will have something called the OneDrive, and the OneDrive, which used to be called SkyDrive, is the cloud storage area, and everybody is given, if you've got a Microsoft account, 365 account, you've got 1 terabyte of storage space out there. It's unbelievable, and it's a great system because if you store your files out there on the cloud, you can be anywhere in the world and you can access those files from your browser. I mean, it's powerful stuff there. If you're interested in more of what that's all about, I have a whole video series on Microsoft's OneDrive, and that gets into all these different aspects of saving your information out there, your files out there on the cloud on that OneDrive area. So if you're interested, I would take a look at that because I put together a bunch of good videos for that to explain it. In any event, though, what I want to do here is show you how we would take this document that we have on our screen and save it, just save it locally, all right? And like I said, just to my drive C, all right? Now, the danger to that, okay, initially, is that if you save it to your local drive, you're storing it on what is called a hard drive. And a hard drive is a machine, it's a gadget. It will break at one point in your life, and probably more sooner than later, it's going to go out on you. If that dies, if that falls apart, that crashes, as we call it, then if you haven't backed it up, you're going to lose everything. So it's not probably the best place to store it, but I'm going to show it to you anyway, just so you know your options here, right? So what you'll do here is you got up on the screen here, you go into File, all right? So click on the File here, and then we go over here to Save, all right? Now you do that, and you're going to be brought to an area where it's either, do you want to save it, to the OneDrive? And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, but at this point, we want to just save it on your PC, on this PC, as we would call it, right? So you click onto that, and then this shows you all that you see here, all right? These are all the different folders that are set up on my drive C, okay? But in essence, what it is in drive C, there's a folder called Documents, and within that folder are a bunch of other folders, right? So at this point, if you didn't care about it going in any of these folders here, folders within a folder, basically, you just wanted to just go right into the Documents folder. So it's almost like if you thought of like drive C being like, let's say, a tree trunk, okay? One of the branches coming off of it is called Documents, all right? And that would be a folder, right? But then within that folder, and you can put all your leaves on that branch, think of it that way, right? But within that branch, there are more branches coming off of it, and that's what you see here, okay? At least on my machine. Yours will be different probably. So at this point then, what we do is we say, okay, I click up to here, all right? And I give it a name, and I might call it maybe Sally, Sally's seashell sales report or something, whatever. There it is, okay? And it's going to be saved as a Word document, DOCX, that's the extension on there. That's it, that's all you have to do. You click on the Save, and there it goes. Now it's been saved to this PC, that's it. All right, now let me show you how this is going to work here. I'm going to go ahead and close this up. I'm going to get rid of it, right? So I'm going to do a File, click on a Close, boom, it's gone. So now I'm still in Word, I'm just not, I don't have any documents open, so I'm just looking at the program window here, okay? So now I come in one day and I say, okay, now I want to open up that file, all right? So I click on the file and I go to open, all right? And as you can see here, it has the most recent documents in here. So I've got some from today, from yesterday, and so forth, right? Now, if the file was saved a while ago, it might not be in this list, all right? So instead of me just being able to easily click onto it and open it up, I might have to go down here to Browse, all right? And then I can kind of scroll through here because I'm in on my PC. That means Drive C, in the Documents folder, and within that Documents folder, there we have it. And you can see we've got, I just saw it there, there it is, Sally's Seashell Sales Report. So I would click onto that, and I can double click it or just click it once and hit open. And there it is, all right? Otherwise, let me just close this up again. Otherwise, I would just go and do a file, open, and there it is right there, and I can click onto it, and that's it. Now, while we're here, let me just show you something real quick here. If this is a document that you regularly open up, modify, and then print out or do something with it, and you want to have easy access to it without having to do what I just did there, because eventually it's going to get pushed further and further down the list as newer documents are worked with, right? So what you can do is you can actually go over here, you see this little push pin, click onto that, and that keeps it in the pinned area. So all these will scroll further and further down as time goes on, but this will always be up here. So that's pretty cool. But in any case, I'll click onto it, and there it is. It opens right up. Now, if I'd rather maybe save it to my network drive, right? Because I heard that's probably going to be a safer place, because if it's a network drive, then my IT people are backing that up, right? Hopefully, they are. I don't want to worry you, but anyway, that's their job. So they're constantly backing up the network drive. So you've got your personal network drive to work with. So let's see how we do that. Now, I've already saved this to my local drive, so I'm going to have to do a save as so that I can tell it a different place to go to. Because if I right now were just to hit the save button here, it's just going to save it, but it's not going to allow me to redirect it somewhere else. So I can either click on a file and do a save as, or even easier, what I can do is while I'm sitting here, I can go and do the shortcut to save as, and that's the F12 key. All right, that's it. That's with all your programs, okay? Microsoft at least. So you hit the F12 key, and you get this. You get zipped right over to this new window. So let's say we want to keep the same name. We just want to put it in a different area, because right now it's in the documents of this PC. So what I'm going to do instead is I want to put this onto, somewhere on the network. Well, I don't really have a network, but we'll pretend like I'm in there, but we're not going to go there. What I'm going to do instead is you're going to see these guys here. And I'm going to pretend that drive F is my personal drive, okay, network drive, right? So I click onto that, all right, and I get this thing here, a bunch of garbage here. But anyway, so at this point then, I'm going to leave it with that name. It's still going to be a Word document. So that's all I have to do. I just redirect it to a different area. Now I might have it within a folder of that, and I can go ahead and open up a folder and put it in there. But I'm just going to keep it right in this just general area, out, just on that branch basically, but not within a branch or something, right? So I'm there. I hit save, all right? And now it's saved to that. Now I'll go ahead and I'll close that. So I'll just do a file close here. All right. Now, when I want to get it later on, I can click on a file, all right? Go to open, all right? Now, this is the one that's on F, all right? That's whenever. Now, if for some reason this was a long time ago, that file has been pushed way down, we don't even see it anymore, how are we going to get to it? Well, I can go ahead and I can click on to, well, in this case, probably the easiest way is just to go to this PC, all right? And, well, actually, I'm sorry. I want to do browse, all right? And then I'm going to go and navigate to that network drive, right? And if it was in one of these folders, I'd double click it. But in this case, we just put it on the outside within, drive F. I'll click onto it, hit open, or double click it either way, and voila, there it is. Now, the only problem with having saved it to either the local drive or the network drive is that if I am out of the country, if I'm out of state, if I'm wherever, and I need to get access to those files, all right, I'm not going to be able to, all right, in most cases. But if I were to save this file onto the cloud, onto the OneDrive, Microsoft's OneDrive, I can then use my browser wherever I'm at in the world, as long as I've got an internet connection, use my browser, navigate to the office.com website, and I can log in and actually get all my files right in front of me, and I can go in there and I can download them, or I can actually edit them using the online version of Microsoft Word or Excel or whatever program you're working with, right? So it's really a good little system there. So how would I now take this one and put it onto the cloud, all right? Well, here's how it works. I'll go ahead and I'll hit my F12 key, my save as, all right? And what I'm going to do here is you're going to notice somewhere in here, I got to find it. Went right past it. Here it is. Okay, OneDrive. All right. Now, if I click onto that, there is my OneDrive system. So this is a whole new tree trunk. All right. And these are all the main branches coming off the tree trunk. And if I were to open up any one of those, I'm going to have different, I'll see maybe more folders and more files and stuff. So this is my system here. Okay. So it's pretty wild. All right. Anyway, so I'm just going to keep it on the OneDrive. I'm not going to put it in any particular folder. I'm just going to keep it on the outside here. Okay. So there it is. All right. There's the name. It's going to be saved in there. Now I go ahead and hit save. All right. Takes a few moments depending on how your internet is working. There it goes, all right? And eventually, you're going to see it kind of change up there. Now, it's saved on to the OneDrive. Okay, that's pretty powerful stuff there. Okay, I want to show you where this is located on the web, on that cloud system I was talking about before. I just want to show you this real quick. This won't take too long here. We'll go ahead and bring that up here. So if I go to Office, and this was what you do as well, office.com, all right? You'll be brought to a screen like this. I go to sign in, all right? And I'll type in what I am here. So I type that in there. I hit next. So that's just your email address. Takes me to here, and then I just type in the my password, just like that. Sign in. All right, and I'll just say yes on that, and there we go. Takes you right in. So what you can do then is you can go over here to OneDrive, and there's your system, right? So in this case, I go down towards the bottom here, and you'll actually see there's Sally right there, done 7 minutes ago, all right? And at that point, so just pretend like what we're looking at here, we're at some hotel halfway around the world, and we need to get to this file to make some changes to it for our people back at work, right? So what are you going to do? At that point, you can kind of click onto it like this. And there it is in Word, all right? This is Word Online. I can go in there and I can make all my changes to this, all right? So I can do, whatever I want to do in here, right? If I happen to have Word on the computer that I'm using to see this, I can actually tell open up Word, and I'll get the full-blown version of Word that I can work with as well. But the desktop, the online version has plenty of robust features in there. So or I should say, it's a robust area where it's got a lot of the features that come in the desktop version. So pretty cool. So at this point, this document is a file now. I mean, it's saved as a file, and it's being stored, if anything, on the cloud area. Now, what would be the advantage of that other than what I've already told you? If we've got this out on the cloud, we can actually share this file with other users, okay, that are on our system. And that makes for a great collaboration area to work in. So I can share this. Let's just say I've got, I got some dummy student accounts that I've set up in Office 365. I have a whole bunch of them, right? So I've got like student A, student B, student C. So think of those as being people maybe that work at your company, all right? And you decide that this letter right here, you need to have other people help you in collaboration and putting it further together, editing it, whatever they need to do. How do you make that available to them, all right? And I'll tell you what's great about this is that when they're editing it, when they're working on it, they're actually working on the cloud version, which is the same thing that you're seeing right here, which means it makes it very easy to compile all the changes because they're already compiled. They're already in that document that they've been working on the cloud, this one right here. So how would you go about sharing this with them is my point. And that is, we would go, while you're looking at the screen here, you'll see share right up at the top here. I click onto that, all right? This opens up eventually. And it's like, well, who do you want to share it with, right? Well, I'm going to put in here, I want to maybe share it with student A or B or whatever. So I'll type in student. And it comes up with all different ones here. So here's my student A. All right, there's one. I'll do another STU, and I'll get maybe student B in on it. And I'll also do it with student, we'll do student C here, all right? So they can edit, all right? And all I have to do is just send it, just like that, and off it goes. Now, they're going to get an email at their end, and it's going to say that I'm sharing such and such file with them. Now, on that email, they can click onto the link there, and that'll take them right to this file, and they can start working on it right away. But the other beauty of this, let me just show you here. I'm not going to show you this, show you how to do this exactly because I'm not going to show you everything here. But what's going to happen on student A, B, and C, because I've shared this file with them, let me just show you what's going to happen here, is on their OneDrive, okay, they're going to have, this is what their OneDrive is going to look like. When they go to their OneDrive and they go into this shared area right here, it'll have items on here where it says shared with me, shared by me, okay? So these are some of the ones that I shared with people, and these are the ones that are shared with me. So when student A is looking at their screen like this, they're going to see all the files that that people have shared with student A, right? So student A will see this screen and see all the files that's shared, and one of them will be that Sally file. And then what they can do is they can click onto it. So let me find there's a Word one right here. Okay. So if I were to choose this one right here, or they were, right? They can click onto it, and they can sit there and they can start editing it, whatever they want to do. I mean, it's pretty slick. That's all they do. They don't even need to save it. They can do that, and then they can just go and close up the tab, done, and they've made the change. I mean, that's pretty powerful stuff there. But the major thing to keep in mind is that those three people that I shared the file with, all three of them when they make changes, it's making changes to the actual file that I have at this end, right? Because that file is being stored on the OneDrive, right? So good stuff. Okay, so hopefully that helps you. I'll tell you, this part here is probably the most I don't know, the most excited I can become with this whole system is the fact that you can save this stuff and share it. It's just amazing to me. And I don't know how many times I've had to access my files when I'm 1,000, 10,000 miles away from here. It's a great feeling to know that I have full access to everything at any time. So hopefully you can start using that. Appreciate you watching the video. Take care.